Good morning YouTubers, and welcome back to the Davidswordplay channel. Now if you've been watching the channel recently, you'll know Tony and I have been on our European tour, and as we were disembarking the ferry at Hull, I noticed that on idle my engine was noisier than usual. So after a bit of investigation we decided that we'd ride home sedately. Got it back into the garage, and with the use of a stethoscope we decided that it was the timing chain that was rattling. So we whizzed off the front cover, and we found the timing chain tensioner spring lying in the bottom of the tensioner. Fortunately it jammed at the bottom, and the pin that held the spring at the top in the tensioner, I'll show you in a moment, was broken in half, which was interesting. Anyway, rung up Moto Guzzi ADT in Denby. They were very helpful. Said unfortunately we couldn't get a new tensioner for 2 to 3 weeks. So we ordered one, and Tony and I found a second-hand one on eBay, and we thought we'd stick that in to keep me riding while the weather was so good. So that's what we did. The new tensioner should be arriving, that was a couple of weeks ago, should be arriving today or tomorrow. So we're going to fit a new tensioner, a new front cover gasket, check out the timing chain is still serviceable, and we thought we'd film the process. So if this is something that interests you, join us after the intro. So here we are YouTubers, this is the tensioner. I hope you can see that, I'm trying to not get in the way. And the spring was jammed down here, which was fortunate. I don't know how it got jammed, but it was jammed in there. And there's a pin that goes through this little hole at the top here where, if I turn it around you might be able to see it better. This spring locates in there and hooks onto the hook here, so you've got tension on this pad that runs against the chain. Now as you can see, this little pin had snapped, which was very, very interesting. Now the only thing we could see was a little crack in the top of the pad here, this ABS pad or whatever it is, that might have allowed the spring to move, and with it moving up and down all the time could have possibly snapped in half. It's not hardened steel, so we needed a new tensioner, which we ordered. Now this little baby's about 80 odd pounds, I think, believe it or not. But anyway, we've ordered one. It should be here in the next couple of days, and we're going to fit it. So there it is, an unusual failure. Spring's intact. Fortunately there's a hole that returns the oil to the sump just below this, which we'll show you when we take the front cover off. Fortunately the spring didn't fall into the sump, or we could have had a bit of a disaster. So we'll whiz the front cover off now, show you how to do that, and we'll have a look inside. Okay folks, so looking at the front of the bike here, we need to take the voltage regulator off. Now if you've got the standard horn mounted on the bike, you'll need to probably take that off as well. I've relocated my horn because I've got a different one. So we need to take the voltage regulator off, move that to one side. I usually just hook it up around there, and then behind that there's a bracket to hold the lambda sensor wires on either side, so we need to take that off as well. And then that'll expose the ring of bolts around the front cover, which we need to take off. Now, I suggest that when you take your voltage regulator off, it's probably going to be dusty behind here, so I'll give it a good clean off before you undo the bolts, and so you don't drop any dirty bits into the engine. So that's what we're going to do next. So we need to undo these two 8mm bolts that hold the regulator on. Just whiz them off. Okay, and then we can move that out of the way. Just pull that out of there a little bit. We can clean those wires too and just hang it on there through the bolt hole to keep it out of the way. A bit of wire to hold this onto the crash bar out of the way. So now you can see this bracket here that's held on by two 8mm bolts. We need to undo that to get this out of the way and disconnect these sensors from that bracket, so we can pull the bracket out of the way, and then we can see the breather pipe behind there, which needs to come off, and then the ring of bolts, and that should enable us to remove the front cover. Okay, YouTubers, we're back at the front of the engine. As you can see, we've put some masking tape on the frame bars to protect them. Now this is the bracket that fits in there that holds the lambda sensor wires, so we disconnect them from that, take the two 8mm bolts out, and that leaves you with all your bolts and your breather pipe connection that we need to remove right now. So that's what we're going to do next, is remove the breather pipe. Now the other thing is, if you're going to do this with oil in your engine, you obviously, this front cover is just above the oil level, so you need to think about catching your oil or draining your oil, which is probably a better, and replacing the oil if you've had any problems with your tensioner. Okay, so because we've had this off before, we put a Jubilee clip on rather than the silly little clips that are very difficult to get back on unless you've got the right tool. So we just need to make sure it should come off easy because we've had it off before. Push that to one side for now. So just got to loosen all these bolts off. We'll do a couple, and I put them in a box lid so I know exactly where they come from. Did I do that one? So as I say, you go all the way around. I'm not going to film me taking out each individual bolt out. Just got to, oh, I felt something drop then. Oh, it's the, so there we are, folks. The cover's off. You can see the second-hand tensioner in there. We're just going to suspend that out of the way for a minute, because we don't want to take it off, because it's a right pain in the backside to get the ignition sensor wire, which goes right up into the head here. So we're going to hang it off the crash bar. You have to only be so kind as to pass me one of those blue straps. Oh, is it up there? Can't remember where I hooked it up to. Oh. And obviously we'll be changing the oil and filter. So we can now see the tensioner is mounted here. Can you see that? It's very difficult to see really. We can get, might be better get my phone in there, Tony, to
Can you go out on this side, David, and point it out?
Yep, I can do that. I'll take my pointer with me. So this is the tensioner here. So that's what we're replacing. This is it's a tensioner. It has a material off an older bike, I think. It's.
Can I just interrupt you?
Yeah.
Your screwdriver's blending in too much. Stick your finger in your pinky or something like that.
This is the tensioner.
You've got a black glove. You've got open. There.
Yeah.
That's it there, yeah?
That's the tensioner, yeah. So it's held in by one bolt in there, which is a little bit tricky to get off. And what you've got to watch is, this is your sump, and there's a hole there to goes right into the sump, so you need to put some paper in there or something, so when you undo this bolt, if you actually drop it, it's not going to fall into the sump. So that's what we're going to do next. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to try and...
Before we go any further, can I speak?
Yeah.
If you come round here,
yeah,
you've got a lot more access to the top bit you could squeeze in.
Right. And there we go. And that's the old tensioner we had in. It's different material. Obviously, on the old bike it had one bigger grooves in. So we need now to get the new tensioner in.
So this one is the temporary replacement that you got second-hander.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which did the job.
Kept you on the road, didn't it?
Kept us on the road while the weather was nice. And now we're going to try and...
it is a different design, isn't it? There's
yeah.
no thing in the middle.
No, there isn't. Oh, that's true enough. That's the new one, and this is obviously they've modified it to make it run a little straighter. I don't know, maybe. Anyway,
you can see difference in how much tension there is going to be on chain.
Yeah, that's true enough. So I think what we might do is put a tie wrap round there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Just so we can cut it and so we can get it off. I think that's what we're going to do. Now, chain looks fine. It doesn't look like there's a lot of... it's not a big chain, so I don't think it's under any... I mean, I suppose if you wanted to go OCD, you could put a new timing chain on, but remember, if you do that, you have to have a puller to take this off. This part of the magneto, as Moto Guzzi calls it. So there's a special puller that screws on there and pulls off that pulley. There's the oil pump underneath it, so there's lots of things to line up if you change the chain as well. I don't think I need to change the chain, because when we put this second-hand tensioner in, it noise went away, so just get a tie wrap.
Right, so what are you doing?
Putting a tie wrap on this tensioner to take some of the tension off it while I try and position it in there and put the bolt in, the new bolt that we've got. As I say, there's the old bolt, and that's the new bolt, and it does look a bit gnarly, so put the washer on, little washer, and we need now to try and position this in there. I need to move that this way a bit. To slot that tensioner up into there. Oh. Have to excuse me a little bit while I get myself in a better position to do this. I'm too old to be grunching on the floor, but let's get it in the right position. There we go. We now need to get that bolt in, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Would it be any easier to cut the thing off now?
I think we're going to get the bolt started first, and then we'll cut that off. I'm just going to check, see if this is magnetic. Okay, YouTubers, so the tension is now in place. The bolt's tight, and what we're going to do now is just rotate the engine a couple of times and recheck the top dead centre position just to make sure that everything's okay. Now, there's the inlet happening now.
I'll stop this.
Yeah.
Because if we put that on,
Yeah.
There's the dowel there.
Right. So, take that out of the way, bring the box in and start pushing the, make sure we can get the breather pipe on before we go any further. So we're just putting the last bit of oil in. I always use Moto 10W60. So if Moto, for a bit of free advertisement, send us oil, we're quite happy. But anyway, just gonna do a quick top up. We've put a little bit more. And that should be enough till we get a chance to run it round the block. So it's about 1.7 litres with the filter.
Hasn't it come up there? Hasn't it come up the side screen?
Well, it won't do. You've got to check the oil while it's hot and then leave it standing for a couple of minutes while it runs into the... So you don't really want it to be full on the sight screen, really. Stick that in there for now. Okay then. So, oil's topped up. We spun the engine over a couple of times without the plugs in it to make sure that everything was free and no valves were clattering the pistons. So now we're going to try for the big start before we build it all back up. So here we go. That sounds how it should sound. So there we are, YouTubers. All we need to do now is we'll double check the ringer bolts round the front timing cover and replace this bracket, hang the lambda sensors connections on that, remount the regulator, clean all the bottom of the engine there, residue, oil residue that we had when we took the front cover off, and that's it. Timing chain tensioner replaced. So if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope this was some help to you, and we'll catch you in the next video.